Hey guys, it's Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today I want to talk about kind of like some of the highs and lows we've been seeing as far as sales go, and then like the highs and lows of thrifting and sourcing as well. So I say it all the time. Online sales are really like a roller coaster. You can have a day where you sell 15 items, gross $400, $500, $600. And the next day you may sell one or two items and gross like 70 or 80. And I haven't really seen any rhyme or rhythm to it either. Like, we all know about the summer slowdown, of course. That is a thing, especially for clothing sellers. There is like a slowdown at the beginning of the summer. And then in the fourth quarter, of course, we all see increased sales and we get that big push of sales. So there are like certain times of the year where you can expect slower sales or having more sales depending on what you have in your store and what time of the year it is. But overall, all throughout the year, no matter what you sell, I think you're going to see days that are really high and days that are really low, and they don't make sense. It's kind of like arbitrary. Or you'll have like this random day thrown in. Like, sometimes we'll be trucking along and we'll be selling our faces off, and then we'll have a dip. We'll have this really weird day where maybe we only sell like 2 or 3 things, and then the next day it goes right back to where we were and stays pretty steady. Like I said, I've never seen a rhyme or a reason to it. I can't figure it out. It just happens. And then sometimes you have a really amazing day, and sometimes you don't. So it's normal. I just wanted to kind of touch upon it because I've been seeing it a lot more lately. It's like pretty consistent for us that we're having ups and downs from day to day. And like last week we had Monday through Thursday we did really well, and then Friday took a dip. Saturday was silent, crickets, and then Sunday we all of a sudden had really amazing sales. So like, I don't know, I've just noticed it a lot more lately. It seems like almost every other day is either up or down. And then I wanted to talk about how when you're outsourcing, especially the thrift stores, you never know what you're going to find. Yard sales, estate sales, you go hoping to find the really good stuff, and sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. And I just wanted to like mention, like, not just this past weekend, but the weekend before, we went out yard selling. By 8:45 in the morning, we had already found the Sony vintage radio that you saw last night in my What Sold video. And if you haven't seen that, I'll actually link it down below for you if you're curious. But yeah, we went out, and in 45 minutes time, we had a Sony vintage radio, we had a Wii, we had 2 DS's, and a couple of other like collector's items that aren't going to be fast flips, but they're going to be good money. And that was all within one neighborhood. It was a neighborhood sale. So then, like, this past Saturday we went out. We went to 3 different neighborhood sales. So we were out for like 4, almost 5 hours, but we weren't really doing a lot of driving. We drove to one parked in a central location, like as our home base, and walked around to the different sales and brought stuff back to the car. And we drove to the second one and did the same, and then we drove to the third. So we were out for quite a while. We also like hit in between. So like, if we're going from this neighborhood sale to this neighborhood sale and there's other stragglers, we'll drive to those and stop and look on our way to the next. So we're utilizing our time, I guess, using our time wisely and our gas money, and following all the red dots on the yard sale treasure map. So we were out for 4 to 5 hours, and we went to 3 major neighborhood sales, like I said, and we had all the stragglers in between, and we came home with pretty much nothing. Like, we weren't empty-handed, but we didn't find a Sony vintage radio and a Wii and 2 DS's. And it just goes to show you that, like, from weekend to weekend, or from sourcing trip to sourcing trip, You can have one day that's amazing and you find all the things. That radio sold for $175 and we only paid $2 for it, you know. And I got some of the sought after Starbucks mugs that day too that are in the store. So, and then like this past weekend, and then Sunday, the first Goodwill we went to, we walked out with maybe, and this is on 99 cents day too, guys. We walked out with maybe 30 items. We went to the second Goodwill and we walked out with over 100 items. So even from store to store within the same day, or, you know, yard sale to yard sale, whatever, sometimes you're going to find really great items and sometimes you're not. And it is hard sometimes to deal with that crushing disappointment after having such a high. That weekend where we found all that stuff was such a high, and to go from that to finding nothing, it is kind of disappointing, and you have to learn how to deal with it. Like last week, our sales were really, really amazing because we flipped the $175 radio. Oh, and the Walkman. I forgot to mention the Walkman. That was that same day by 8:45 a.m. in the morning. I don't know how I forgot about the Walkman, but yeah, we had the 2DSs, the Walkman, the Wii, the radio, and that all sold last week. And we had an amazing week. And because we didn't really find amazing stuff this past weekend, this week isn't going to be as good as last week. And that's just how it's going to be. So I guess I just wanted to like talk about it because we're really noticing our sales are going up and down. And we did have one extreme to the other as far as our yard sale adventures, which we're definitely going to feel. Like I said, last week's sales were amazing. This week, even if we sell a lot, we don't have those items that are that high dollar, really good return on investment. So, but our cross posting is starting to finally pay off. We have had one Macari sale and one Poshmark sale. And I'm going to do a video about Poshmark and Macari after this. I'll do that tomorrow, so I won't really talk too much about that right now. And Pinterest, guys. I'm thinking about doing Pinterest. So, those of you that are regular here, you know that I've been talking a lot lately about cross-posting and, you know, diversifying yourself on eBay and stretching that net out. You're going to catch more fish with the bigger net. The bigger the net, the more fish. So that means having more items in your store, having your items on more than one place, getting more eyeballs in your store, getting more people to look at you, and obviously social media is a part of that. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, but I've kind of been putting some thought into Pinterest. The Herod family, who watches this channel pretty regularly, left a comment last week about how she does Pinterest, and it really intrigued me. And then Zach Knickerbocker on Instagram. And by the way, if you're not following Zach Knickerbocker on Instagram, you probably should be. He's a really, really young kid that has started his own business. He's an entrepreneur. He does private merch. He's very motivated, very positive. He's very inspiring. I love watching, I guess. I read all of his posts and I'm watching his journey and what he's doing. But he's just pretty amazing for his generation to be that much of a go-getter and motivated. So if you're not following him, do, because he's great. But he did this whole post about how he utilizes Pinterest. And he's just started, like, he's building up his following right now. And I just, between that and the comment from the Herod family, I just really started thinking, because for a while now I've thought about getting on Pinterest, but it's like, I don't know, do people still look at Pinterest? Like, is that still a thing? And how much time would it take, and how much effort am I going to put in, and can you really advertise on there, and will people click the links and go, but I don't know. So there's a lot of thought process, so I'm thinking about it. So if I decide to go on Pinterest, I of course will keep you guys updated and share with you what I'm doing and how I go about it. And I don't know. I just really got to think about it because my schedule's really tight right now. My boys are here for the summer, and I'm trying to cram more in the daytime hours and not work in the evenings, so I can spend the time with my kids. So I don't know, my schedule, like, even, you know, during the school year when they're with their dad and they come out here on the weekends, even then during the week when I work into the evening, sometimes I feel like my schedule is too packed. And I have to take a lot of breaks. I don't know if I've mentioned that before or not. I have to take a lot of breaks. So, you know, for every hour I work, I have to stop and do yoga and stretch and things my physical therapist showed me to do for my back. So, like, I'm productive and I am motivated and I have a good schedule and a routine just as much as anybody else that, you know, is a real go-getter or an entrepreneur. I'm very, very, very good. I have good work ethic. Let's put it that way. I have a really good work ethic. I always have. But now I'm limited because of my back injury and my disability. I have to take a lot of breaks and I have to pace myself throughout the day so that I don't overdo it. And I have to take time to sit on my heating pad and stuff. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. And hey, I can still function and still work and still contribute to the house. And that was one of my kids speaking in. So, you know, I schedule myself pretty well throughout the day, and I allow time for that. But right now with the kids here, it's like I don't want to work at night so much, and I'm trying to get more done during the day. I don't know that I have time to take on anything more, especially with Posh and Makari and YouTube. The boys are helping a lot with Posh. I'm showing them how to share and stuff. And of course they help with sourcing. A little too much, actually, you guys. I was going to do a haul video this week. It'd show you some of the stuff we did manage to find at the yard sales. And that second Goodwill we went to where we spent like $100. Oh my gosh, we got so many great items. And I was going to do a haul video. But the boys brought everything inside, carried it upstairs to the serial killer room. If you're new to the channel, we have a storage room upstairs that we keep all of our stuff inventory in, and it's called the serial killer room. For reasons I'm not going to get into. I've already been talking for too long. But they took everything upstairs and they took the tags off and they organized it into laundry and what's what, and so it's already, it's not like around for me to get to. They've already organized it. Half of it's in the laundry. The newest tag stuff is all piled up and ready to go for photos and stuff. So, I mean, they are a really big help. They mean well. They know our system here. They know how to help. They know how to take photos. They're learning Posh. They know what they're doing at the yard sale. They know what they're doing at the Goodwill. These kids know how to thrift. They know how to source. So, I won't be doing a haul video this week. And I guess I have been talking way too long just about yard sales and in-your sales and Pinterest. Back to that. I got off on a tangent. If any of y'all use Pinterest for your reselling, not like personal, if you use it to like connect with other resellers or Poshable buyers or to advertise your eBay items or Poshmark items, let me know in the comments down below. And like, do you use any secondary apps to help you? Zach said something about Twister. I don't remember what it was called. I'd have to look again. But let me know how you utilize it and what you do. And if it's relatively easy and I could do like 15 minutes on it a day, I could probably squeeze it into my schedule. So just let me know down below if you do use Pinterest and how you use it. And Let me know, did you guys find anything at yard sales this weekend? Like I said, we didn't really do that great, but I want to hear if you guys did. Absolutely. So leave me comments down below, and if you would do me a favor and smash that like button, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.